Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. It's your boy Mo. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know of any kind of content you want to see going forward. So today I figured, since I had already started talking about it, I was going to talk about the rescinding of my offer, and I'm going to talk about the second one and how that ended up happening. So to give some context, it was over a really stupid reason, which is obviously my fault. So I'm not trying to dodge any kind of accountability whatsoever, but I felt like the response was a little bit overdrawn. And that is because while I was in my last semester as CSUN, I was struggling very, very much so, big time in terms of motivation because I just wanted to be done with school at that point. So I was kind of burnt out. At the same time, I was thinking about my student loans. I was thinking about my career path and how I didn't have an offer at the time, and how I was just gonna graduate into like this insecurity. And it was a thought that really weighed heavily on my mind. So I was on campus one day, after hours, and pretty much I was studying in a room and I locked myself out by accident. So to give a little bit more context to that, because I don't like to give partial truths, like just the full truth, and this is where I find myself to be accountable, is I was studying in a faculty room that wasn't technically meant for students, but it was the only room that I found that was open at that time. So I just decided to sit in there and study. Um, which was a really bad decision on my part because I technically had nowhere else to go to study. It was the only place that was open. Sometimes I would go to IHOP, but the IHOP near my campus always kind of asked you to buy something so that you could stay there for a long period of time, and I didn't really want to spend money because, like I was saying, I was in a really bad financial situation. So I was studying on campus there, and I accidentally locked myself out when I went to the bathroom. And when I came back, the door was locked, and my car keys were in there, my laptop was in there, my phone was in there, pretty much everything was in there. So me and my dumb self decided to try to open the door, and in doing so, I accidentally broke the door handle. And this is because I kicked the door really hard, and instead of just calling CSUN police directly to open the door and unlock it and just suffer those consequences, I decided to try to open the door myself. And then, since that ended up happening and the door handle broke, I panicked a bit, and I ended up calling CSUN police anyway because now I needed them to open the door because there's no other option. And this resulted in a misdemeanor. So what I didn't know is that state property is considered, or actually no, sorry, that buildings on campus and anything on campus is considered state property. So if you do any kind of damage to it, it already elevates the offense. So I got slapped with a vandalism misdemeanor. And as you can see, this kind of becomes an issue down the line. So now I have a criminal case in my history, and that was required to go to court. So at the time, I received the citation, and during that time, like I was saying, a lot of things were on my mind. So I ended up not paying it and forgot about it, and that resulted in a warrant being issued for my arrest. And I didn't even know about it, or I had completely forgotten about it until dun 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 dun. It came time for a background search for a firm that I finally got an offer with, and um, they were like, "Hey, this came up in your report. Can you explain it?" So I gave the explanation of everything that went on and how it was an accident, et cetera, et cetera. But it ended up delaying my start date, and this was with a Big Four firm. So I was initially supposed to start October 1st. They delayed it to October 22nd because the court case required me to show up in court multiple times. And as you can imagine, during COVID, a lot of these processes took a lot longer than usual. So my start date got pushed from October 1st, then it got pushed to October 22nd, then to January, and then indefinitely, um, until I completed the background check. So technically, this offer was never really rescinded. It just ended up pushing my start date to a time that just would have been a very big negative impact to me because I was unemployed and my unemployment was running out at the time as well. Um, but it started to get me to question a bit about like how easy it is to get a record on on your, like, not transcript, what's the word I'm looking here, to get have a record or to have a criminal record. And that's something that irked me very much because I'm somebody that had never had that before. um I've always kind of just been like the mature, responsible person in like my family. I've never like be done anything at a police station. I'd never been there. And then to just have that slapped was a real big slap in the face. And I'll never forget that experience because it's something that really changed the way that I think, and it changed a lot of my perceptions. And what I just realized as well is that I didn't give enough context into the ticket. When I got the ticket, like when police showed up at the building when I was there, the guy immediately accused me of trying to break into the campus. So I showed him my student ID. Um, I had showed him like all this verification of that I was a student, that I'm double majoring, that I was an accounting major, I was in my last semester, etc. And what bothered me about the situation isn't me not taking accountability, but the fact that that specific officer, who is, if you're a black student that goes to CSUN, I think you might know who he is, but he has a reputation of somewhat being more racist. So he automatically, instead of trying to be more lenient or trying to understand my position or any of that, automatically was trying to give me the largest or like the hardest possible consequence for the action, rather than trying to understand my point, which was I was explaining. So after some conversation with him, he called up the chief of police from CSUN, and she asked me more about my background. She happened to be Latina, and then she was asking me why I was there, what I was doing, and then I pretty much walked her through the whole situation. So she, instead of arresting me, decided to uh, just give me that ticket. So had I dealt with the ticket when I got it, maybe none of this stuff would have happened. But again, I was in a bad financial situation, so I had no real money to pay that kind of citation. At the same time, I had forgotten about it because I put it in my car, and then like I was overwhelmed by my finals and everything that was going on that I just forgot about it. So that ticket in that case could have literally costed me like starting my career, especially, which I'm glad that the experience happened at this point because it taught me how to navigate a lot smoother. It was an expensive mistake, but you know, every every mistake is a learning opportunity. So let me know what kind of adversities you've ever faced in your recruiting, that you faced in your career so far. I like to hear those type of comments and those kind of conversations, and I think the more that we talk about it, the more other people can kind of learn how to navigate, especially coming in new students or people who are also from similar backgrounds. Because as a black individual in America, already a criminal record is a bad look, and it can cause so many problems down the line. So I will take my share of accountability from this because at the end of the day, it is my fault. I was in a place I wasn't supposed to be at, but I don't believe that um, in the lack of empathy that that specific police officer showed. So let me know what your thoughts are. Like I just said, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.